we did through community building and engagement was to really get back to our roots about legal services. And what do I mean by that? So in early legal services, we think about effective legal representation and advocacy that needs to include community education, outreach efforts, but most importantly, physical presence in the communities that we actually represent and serve. So using these methods, we're able to help clients identify critical legal needs and set our priorities with the limited use of resources that we have and really develop appropriate legal responses to what we're doing. And it's more than simply about, responding to the demands of who's walking in our door. It's actually going out into the community and having that physical presence and taking our lead from the communities that we represent. And also taking a view about power. That was very important to the work that we did. To work effectively with those people that we represent, we have to, think about building and shifting power and addressing the systemic and root causes of the racial, economic, and social injustices that our clients face on a daily basis. And it's a move from, we talked about client-centered lawyering to a community-centered lawyering approach. So some specifics about how we did this. We engaged with the community throughout the design, build, and implementation and testing process. So the community members were involved in every single aspect of this project. And we identified the communities served by Pathways for Change and the Family Center that Connie was talking about, and ensured that their needs and their feedback, and they had a seat at the table, but not just a seat. They were actively participating and involved in everything that we did. And so, and the other thing that we did, the very first question that we asked was, who is our community? Who are we actually serving? And we studied that, and we looked at it, and we talked to people. And then we also did a couple legal needs assessments. We looked at Legal Services of North Florida's legal needs assessment. We did our own legal needs assessments. Our own team, who I'll tell you about, came together. We did a couple on-the-spot, quick legal needs assessments of the clients being served by the Family Center to figure out, is what we're developing, in addition to the clients that are working with us and the community members that are working with us, is what we're doing and what we're designing for truly responsive to community needs. And our team brought together service providers, brought our community members. We had the United Way, we had Pathways for Change staff, we had actual consumers who were part of Pathways for Change. We had a Legal Services of North Florida attorney. We had also a Legal Services of North Florida paralegal. We had a retired teacher. We had a social worker. We had a banker. I mean, this was like a very interesting mix of people who were at the table. And the community members were also a critical part of the feedback on the projects. Margaret talked about that. So we had sort of a halfway through point where we all got together again and we said, is this something that is actually going to work? Is this going to help you? Are we headed in the right direction? And community members sort of stopped us, said, no, this isn't going to work, let's fix that. So that was also an important part of what we did. And, our team also helped to develop an exit interview. Leslie says, oh, Andrea did that. I actually didn't do it. We drafted some things, we ran it by our entire team, and then we floated it out to other people. So when you hear, one of us did something, it was actually our whole team that did something. So those are some of the things that we did, and Alana and I, our teams worked very closely together, so you're going to hear her talk about some things related to community lawyering, and we really tried to bridge those two things together. And so and what you're seeing is a lot of the ways that we engaged with community. We couldn't represent all of those things, but that's what you're seeing behind me is some of those things. So, and I'd be happy to talk with any of you about the project and about the work that we did in engaging the community in this way. So, thank you.